You know that weird moment when you finally save up your first $5,000 and instead of feeling powerful, you mostly feel nervous? Because now the question gets real, not theoretical, not one day when I have money. Now it's your money, sitting there, looking back at you, and suddenly every option feels weirdly dramatic. Should you invest all of it? Keep some in cash? Buy stocks? Open a retirement account? Wait for the market to drop? Ask 12 different people and get 15 different opinions? And honestly, I think about this stuff way too much. My name is Threk, and I spend an unreasonable amount of time thinking about money, investing, and why people can do something objectively smart, like saving their first $5,000, and still feel completely frozen when it's time to make the next move. Because this is the part nobody tells you. Your first $5,000 is not really a test of intelligence, it's a test of structure. If you get the structure right, that money can become the beginning of an actual investing life, not a random financial event, not one heroic moment you talk about for 6 months and then never repeat. A system, a rhythm, a future. And that's what we're going to do here. Exactly how to invest your first $5,000 step by step in a way that is simple, realistic, and actually useful. So step 1. Make sure the money is allowed to be invested. That sounds obvious, but it really isn't. A lot of people are eager to invest because investing feels like progress, and to be fair, it is. But if you've got high-interest credit card debt breathing down your neck, or you have basically no emergency cushion at all, then investing all $5,000 immediately can be like planting a garden in the middle of a kitchen fire. Technically productive, yes, but maybe not the first priority. So before you invest anything, ask 2 questions. 1. Do I have toxic debt, especially high-interest debt? 2. If something annoying and expensive happens next month, do I have any cash buffer at all? If the answer is no buffer and lots of ugly debt, don't force the full $5,000 into investments just because that sounds more impressive. Use part of it to stabilize your life first. That matters because stable people invest better than panicked people, every time. Step 2. Choose the account before you choose the investment. This is where beginners often do the financial version of buying furniture before they know what apartment they're moving into. They get excited about what stock or fund to buy, but they haven't even decided where the money should live. And the account matters a lot. If you have access to a retirement account with tax advantages like an IRA or a workplace retirement account, that is often the first place to look. If this money might be needed before retirement and you want more flexibility, then a regular brokerage account may make more sense. The point is, first pick the container, then pick what goes inside it. Because good investing is not just about returns, it's about using the right vehicle for the right timeline. Step 3. Keep the investment simple. Honestly, this is where people make it way harder than it needs to be. They think their first $5,000 needs to be spread across 12 clever ideas so they can feel like a serious investor. It does not. You are not building a hedge fund in your kitchen. You are trying to own productive assets in a calm, repeatable way. For most people, the simplest path is a low-cost, diversified index fund or a small group of broad index funds, something that gives you exposure to lots of companies instead of forcing your future to depend on whether one hot stock had a good quarter. Boring? Yes. Effective? Also yes. Your first $5,000 does not need to be exciting. It needs to be durable. Step 4. Don't obsess over perfect timing. This one gets so many people stuck. They save the money, open the account, maybe even choose the fund, and then they just hover, waiting for the perfect entry, waiting for a dip, waiting for a sign from the universe or the Federal Reserve or a guy on YouTube wearing a black turtleneck and speaking with suspicious confidence. But your first $5,000 is not supposed to teach you how to predict the market. It's supposed to teach you how to participate in it. If you're nervous about putting it all in at once, you can split it up. Maybe invest a portion now and the rest over the next few months. That can help emotionally, which matters more than people admit. But don't let caution quietly become procrastination. The biggest beginner mistake is often not choosing the wrong investment. It's never really starting. Step 5. Automate the next move immediately. This might be the most important part of the entire process. Once the first $5,000 is invested, set up an automatic contribution right away, even if it's small. $50 a week, $100 a month, whatever fits. Because if you don't connect the first investment to a repeatable habit, then it stays a one-time story instead of becoming a system. And systems are what change people. I've seen this over and over. Two people both invest their first $5,000. One treats it like a single dramatic event and then goes back to financial chaos. The other uses it as the start of a routine, a payday transfer, a boring monthly contribution, a normal part of life. Guess which one usually ends up building real wealth? Not the more emotional one, the more consistent one. So if I had to put the whole thing in one clean sequence, it would go like this. First, stabilize anything financially dangerous. Second, choose the right account. Third, buy simple, diversified investments. Fourth, invest without waiting forever for perfection. Fifth, automate the next contribution before your brain starts inventing excuses. That's it. That's the path. And I know part of you might be thinking, really? That's the big secret? And honestly, yeah, kind of. Because the real power of your first $5,000 is not in doing something flashy, it's in doing something clear enough that you can keep doing it. That's what matters. Your first $5,000 probably won't make you rich overnight. It won't transform your whole life by next Tuesday. But it can do something quieter and more important. It can turn you into someone who knows how to move from saving to investing without panic, without drama, and without needing constant reassurance. And that identity shift is huge. Because wealth usually does not begin with brilliance. It begins with one calm, well-placed decision followed by another one and another one until the whole thing starts to feel normal. So if you've got your first $5,000 and you're feeling nervous, that's okay. You do not need to be fearless. You just need to be structured. Invest it with purpose. Keep it simple. Then keep going.